Welcome to Wine Soundtrack Australia. Listen to the passion with which producers narrate their winery and their world.
In 30 ounces, discover their stories, personalities and passions.
Hello friends and listeners of Wine Soundtrack. My name is Priscilla Hennickamp and I'm here with Vanessa Lambert. And we're going to talk about Lambert Estate wines. So Vanessa, tell us where are you located?
We're here in Australia in the beautiful Barossa Valley. Our winery is located in Angaston here in the Barossa Valley. It's a beautiful spot.
So how many hectares do you have here?
About 100 hectares. We've got about 100 acres and 40 to 50 acres planted, and we're working on planting another 40 acres on the hill.
Great. So how many grapes you plant here in your estate?
We have about 11 different varieties, and we do all kinds of wines, everything from sparkling wine to a fortified wine as well. So we have a good range of wines.
If you have it to pick like your favorite wine, so it's sparkling, red, white, fortified. What do you like to drink tonight?
Oh, it's pretty hot out there, so tonight I'm going to be drinking Chardonnay for sure. But I guess it just depends on the time of the day, the temperature, how I'm feeling, if the air conditioning is on. It just depends.
So tell us the percentage of the sales domestic in Australia and international.
I guess we do probably 60 international and 40 domestic. Since we're stuck here this year, we're probably going to be increasing that a little bit. So yeah, hopefully 50-50. But we export quite a bit to quite a few countries. Yeah.
So where about do we export?
We export to the U.S. We used to export to China quite a bit. We export to the Netherlands, Switzerland, Germany, Singapore, Canada, trying to get to South America as well. So yeah, a few places.
Sounds great. So we'd like to ask you more things about you. So probably people want to know who is the Vanessa, who is Vanessa Lambert. So tell us, is your first memory relevant of wine? Like when is actually if you have to remember something in your life connected with wine?
It'd probably be as a kid growing up, my parents having wine, sharing wine with friends at the dinner table would be the first memory of wine. I wasn't involved, obviously. I was a child, but yeah.
How old did you start to drink wine then?
Wine at university probably, but it was a very, the very economical wine in New Zealand. I remember you could get like a bottle of wine for maybe $6. I shouldn't admit this, but yeah, that was definitely the wine of choice back then.
So, but how old were you when the first time you drink wine?
How old was I? Probably 18 when I tried it in Peru. They used to have this wine called it was like a really fruity. I can't remember what it was called, and I maybe even tried it at 16 because it was so yummy and fruity and colorful. Yeah, I probably 16. Mom, sorry.
Do you believe in a perfect variety?
No, I think there is no perfection. It all is nature's way. So every year is going to be different, and every variety can have a problem a certain year and not the same problem the next year. So I don't think there is. I think you can achieve or aim for perfection. I don't think that you can get there.
Do you have a cellar?
A cellar, yes.
Yes. And do you know this is the most expensive bottle to have in your cellar?
Ooh. I don't know, but it's in the bottom right corner where all the more expensive wines are that I don't usually look at when I'm picking something out. I don't know what it wouldn't be a super crazy expensive wine.
Would it be Australia or be international?
Australian, yeah. Probably right now Australian, yeah.
So if you imagine someone drinking a wine overseas and someone take a picture to put in the magazine, like of this famous VIP person, who you wish was this VIP and that person drinking Lambert wine?
Oh, wow. That's a hard question. Brad Pitt always looks nice, whether he's drinking or not. Giselle Bundchen, just for you.
When you were little, what did you want to be when you grew up?
When I was little, for a while, I wanted to be an astronaut, actually. And then I went to university and I started studying engineer with a path in mind of achieving, becoming an astronaut and going to space. And I realized that there's a lot of math in engineering. And I just like the chemistry and the science side, not necessarily all the numbers. So that kind of changed my path.
So how if you have wine is your passion, right? Because you make wine is have to a lot of passion. So how did you start to be passionate about wines?
I guess what I'd always been passionate about sensory things, like perfumes and these kind of things that evoke your smell or your sense. And when I studied chemistry, and when I finished my degree, I wanted to focus, and I wanted to do a master's in perfumery, thinking that was the path that I wanted to follow. And then I moved by chance. My parents happened to be in Australia, and I moved here. And at a dinner party, someone suggested, "Why don't you study Enology?" And I was like, "Enology? You can study Enology?" And I looked into it, and it described what I wanted to do perfectly. It was physical. It involved all your senses, and it had you end with a product that you can look at and be like, wow, I put this amount of effort. This happened this year. All these things had to happen for this wine to be in this bottle, and this is it. And it just sounded like the perfect description of what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I'm lucky I didn't get that wrong.
It's a good story. So, have you ever paired white wine with meat or red wine with fish? What is your idea about these rules?
I don't follow any rules when I pair my wine with my food. If I like the wine and I like the food, it can go together. I don't think there's any serious rules that you should follow. I find wine an entertaining thing, a thing of discovery, and discovering things that could go together is something that you won't discover unless you try it. So we don't usually sit down with, oh my God, it's fish. We cannot touch this, Shiraz. Granted, we probably wouldn't pair a Barossa Valley Shiraz with a nice light fish dish, but I'm not just going to go with the one thing because that's what someone says that is what you should have it with. So, yeah, no rules.
So, what do you have with your full body Shiraz, Lambert full body Shiraz?
Oh, just the glass of wine, probably. It's a meal itself. A good steak always goes well with a nice Barossa Valley Shiraz. We've paired it even with a nice bolognese. But when I'm making that kind of thing, I usually try to go with something a bit more spicy, a bit more lighter style. So, yeah.
That's good. How many glasses or bottles of wine are needed to get you drunk?
Definitely a bottle of wine is plenty. I guess as I'm getting older, I'm developing my tolerance a bit more. I can be pretty buzzed with a couple glasses probably, but happily buzzed. I'd probably be drunk if I drank a whole bottle of wine myself. Luckily, Kirk, my husband, and I like to share, so it's I don't have to drink a whole bottle by myself.
Sounds good. So do you do any sport in particular?
Yes, I play tennis and I play soccer, football.
That's good. That's pretty much in South America, yeah? The people love soccer. So you're good with that?
I'd like to think so. I used to be, actually tennis, I played a lot when I was a kid and I played competitively. But soccer I played when I was younger, and I don't know if it was the same in Brazil or not, but it was kind of frowned upon, girls playing soccer. So I didn't really play. When I was a kid, I stopped because it was only the boys, me and the boys. So when I got to a certain age, I stopped playing. And then when I got here to Australia, there was a women's soccer team, and I joined them. And I don't know if it's just from watching all the soccer games on TV that I know the rules and I kind of know what I want to do, but it doesn't usually work well as good as I imagine it. But I don't know. I score goals, so maybe.
I score goals. It's a good sign. It's a good sign for a good one to play soccer. So, complete the sentence, Vanny. A table without wine is like...
A table without wine? What is that? Is like a life without... I'd like to say air, but then I'm going to sound like I need it too much. Without fun?
That's fun. It's a good answer. Do you have any good lucky ritual for when harvest is about to start? Like actually the harvest is starting now, so everyone is so busy now in Barossa.
No lucky rituals, just try to take every day as it comes. This year is quite a challenge. My mom is usually here to help out with the kids, so we'll see how we go. Doing vintage is one thing. Add a couple kids to the mix, and no help will be interesting.
So how the vintage is going this year?
Pretty good so far. We haven't gotten much in, but the bits of fruit that we have are pretty good. It was a very mild summer, not too hot, nice cool evenings, so nice slow ripening conditions. So hardly any disease pressures at all. I think we've had from November till now maybe one rain event, and it hasn't really affected us that much. There was a lot of wind in November, which at our vineyard at home, not here at the winery, our Shiraz canopy, which is one of the highest blocks here in the Barossa Valley, the wind really bashed that up, so it's all a bit tilted, but the fruit is looking really good underneath that. So hopefully what is protected, what is not exposed to the sun, will develop quite nicely and reach ripeness and stay there.
And which grapes you really think in the 2021 vintage you'll be outstanding?
Well, I'm hoping that our Tempranillo, which is netted at the moment, we are not always lucky with we haven't netted it many times, but this year it's being netted, and if that is able to ripen through, hopefully that will look really good. I think the Cab will be a good year for Cab, because that usually takes a bit longer to ripen, and or the cooler evenings that it will really develop nicely. So, and Shiraz, I feel like Shiraz is happy in a lot of conditions, so I think we can count on Shiraz to be a cracker this year, yes.
Yeah. Shiraz is quite famous here in Barossa Valley, yeah?
Yes, it's the grape of the Barossa.
So what sort of wine will be drunk in 2300, in your opinion?
In 2300?
Yeah. In the future.
Yeah. Fortifieds, if everything keeps being colder, then you want to warm up in winter? I don't know. I don't know.
I think probably a lot of rosé and sparklers get very popular now.
Yeah, but would they be? It'll be hotter, so you'd have to be harvesting way earlier. So the statistics at the moment are that every year harvest is moving forward for 2 days. So if you keep going on that, that's like a lot of days.
So if you're hungover, what did you do the next day for which is your remedy to cure your hangover?
To recover. So it would have just been sleeping and, watching TV, but I have 2 small children, so now it's getting up very early and making them pancakes usually. And there is no such thing as a time to recover when you have small children. So I'll let you know in 5 years when they stop waking me up this early.
When you're not working, what do you spend your free time?
Again, I'm a mother. I don't have free time, so it's either working or mothering. I take the kids to swim or do sports, or go shopping. My husband and I are we love watching movies, so we watch movies. We like to read. I play sports. I play lots of sports. Go to the gym. Just doing the normal things. Going to the beach. I love going to the beach. So, unfortunately, vintage just happens to be in the middle of summer, so we don't get much time to do that. But yeah, if before vintage, if we can, we'll go to the beach or spend time at the pool. Yeah,
That's good. So I would like to suggest us to play a game. Are you ready?
Ready.
Cool. I'll tell you the grape, and you have to tell me the song. Or maybe you need to actually sing it for us if you like it.
Okay.
If I tell you the grape is Shiraz, which song it goes well with Shiraz?
Red, red wine.
You're a good singer.
Thank you.
Pinot Noir?
Ooh, Pinot Noir. My good teacher at university always used to say, friends don't let friends drink Pinot. Oh, that's not a song. All I can think of is Dale, dale, don, dale. I don't know why.
It's a good one. Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, can I look through my playlist?
Give me something in Spanish if you like.
A ella le gusta la gasolina.
I love it. Riesling.
Into the unknown. My kids love Frozen, so that's probably, I don't know why I'm thinking of cold Riesling, Frozen, Into the Unknown. You know, that's my train of thought there.
Chardonnay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no, the song that just got into my head is terrible. Bop, ba-doop, dop, dop, doo, doo, dop, dop.
Did you think like it maybe change your career for be a singer one day?
Oh God, no! I feel like you're being too kind. If I did that, I think everyone would be highly disappointed.
Vanesa, tell us, did you like your interview?
I loved my interview. Thank you very much.
Would you like to remind us how to reach your cellar door and your website as well?
Yes, of course. We have our beautiful cellar door here in Angaston in the Barossa Valley. You can visit us on 55 Long Gully Road, otherwise on our website, www.lambertestate.com.au. We also have an American online store and website, so that would be just www.lambertestate.com, and we can send wine to a few different states through there. So just have a look. We'd love to meet some new people from all over the world. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Vanesa.
Thanks for listening to a new episode of Wine Soundtrack Australia. For details and updates, visit our website, winesoundtrack.com.